If you ask anyone what the future of cars look like, they'll most likely say electric. With Tesla at the forefront of the movement, but what if we told you there's another option that might be just as good if not better than battery electric vehicles? What if you could power cars with the universe's most abundant resource and the only byproduct was water? They're also more likely to cause an upheaval in the auto industry than electric vehicles such as Tesla. Hydrogen fuel cells have a lot of promise, but Elon Musk calls these hydrogen fuel cells full cells and mind-bogglingly stupid despite it becoming a threat to battery electric vehicles. In today's video we'll be talking about the new hydrogen Tesla and the newly established fight for superiority between hydrogen fuel and battery electric vehicles. So stay tuned to the end of this video. You don't want to miss out on anything. Kindly subscribe and turn on the notification button if you haven't already done so. Let's get started. Let's start with some definitions. The electric vehicles that most of us are familiar with today, such as Teslas, are battery electric vehicles, or BEVs, and the electric motor is powered by a battery that stores electricity, while a hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle, or FCEVs, such as Toyota's Mirai, generates electricity by combining hydrogen and oxygen, which then powers the car's electric motor. Tesla controls more than half of the zero-emissions market in the United States, but it only accounts for 2% of the total car market in the country. Long recharging times, range anxiety, and cost are the primary reasons why consumers do not switch to battery electric vehicles. Vehicles that use hydrogen fuel cells can refuel in 5 minutes and have a longer range. Tesla could face a slew of new competitors in a zero-emission space if infrastructure expands and fuel cell vehicles gain traction. When it comes to recharging, hydrogen vehicles have the upper hand over battery electric vehicles. A Tesla can charge from 30 to 50% in 15 minutes at a supercharging station, but a full charge will take longer than an hour. Fuel cell vehicles do not need to be recharged. A hydrogen station, like any other gas station today, can refuel the hydrogen tank in less than 5 minutes. This is because FCEVs don't store electricity as batteries do. Instead, they generate it on demand to power the motor. In terms of range, hydrogen-powered vehicles appear to be on top once more. The range of 3 fuel cell vehicles now on the road is 312, 360, and 318 miles respectively. The average range of an electric vehicle is less than 215 miles, even though some Tesla models have a range of over 300 miles. They are generally out of reach for ordinary car customers. Fuel cell vehicles will be the breakthrough for electric mobility, according to 78 of automotive executives. That isn't to argue that fuel cell vehicles aren't fraught with difficulties or affordable FCEVs are required. The manufacturer of FCEVs is being increased by automakers. Toyota, for example, has tenfold boosted its production capability in order to bring the Mirai's price down, but the lack of infrastructure is the true barrier for hydrogen fuel cells. The bulk of hydrogen stations in the United States is in California, where fuel cell owners can access just over 40. A large network of hydrogen stations is required for FCEVs to deliver the breakthrough that automotive executives expect, and this is currently being worked upon. Tesla will be up against a strong fight if and when fuel cell vehicles gain traction. They'll need to boost range while lowering recharge time and cost. However, due to the law of diminishing returns, Tesla and other battery electric vehicles are limited. A larger battery is needed to extend the range. The car will be heavier if the battery is larger. The added weight no longer provides a greater range. After a certain point, it's simply a numbers game. When it comes to FCEVs, more hydrogen stations mean more automobiles, and more cars mean more fuel tail vehicles that are more affordable. Tesla has a 60% share of the zero-emission market in America. However, this represents only 2% of the total U.S. automobile market. When we talk about the global automobile market, those numbers drop. The only thing holding FCEVs back is infrastructure, and if hydrogen stations become more common, Tesla may lose its monopoly on the zero-emissions vehicle market. For a technology that is mind-bogglingly stupid, it has the potential to become a serious competitor for the same customers that Tesla is pursuing. But as part of attempts to promote green hydrogen, a converted version of the Tesla Model Y was recently displayed in Germany. Participants in the experiment dubbed the crossover a hyper-hybrid. Teslas are the most popular electric vehicles in the world. Therefore, employing one to draw attention to anything is helpful. However, it is exceedingly dubious to use the Tesla name to promote hydrogen. What would think Elon Musk is a vocal opponent of hydrogen, citing its inefficiency compared to battery electric vehicles as one of the reasons the Model Y is one of the most fuel-efficient EVs on the market in its stock form, and converting it to a hydrogen car would make it significantly less efficient, and hence less environmentally friendly. The ultimate goal was to develop and market automobiles that are both fuel efficient and environmentally benign. Converting the Model Y car with a synthetic methanol engine, on the other hand, appears to go against that purpose. Furthermore, the idea makes use of a Tesla vehicle to bring attention to hydrogen, which some may consider a mistake. Regardless, Elon Musk isn't alone in his skepticism of hydrogen's application in automobiles. Herbert Diess, the CEO of Volkswagen Group, weighed in on the topic in February of this year, stating that green hydrogen should not be used in automobiles. Musk and Diess seat to high-profile personalities in the helm of significant corporations that wield enormous power and influence. They have a lot of influence. However, it appears that not everyone in the automotive industry agrees with them. Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles have been created by Toyota and Hyundai, while smaller manufacturers like River Simple are developing hydrogen-powered vehicles as well. The BMW Group said in June that it has begun testing hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, citing the technology's long-term potential to supplement internal combustion engines, plug-in hybrid systems, and battery electric vehicles, although these goods clearly don't account for the majority of automobile sales at this time. The fact that so many businesses are working on fuel cell option demonstrates that technology has potential indeed, as governments throughout the world work to establish a low and zero-emission transportation systems. A wide range of industries are beginning to investigate the use of hydrogen fuel cells in larger vehicles. The CEO of Daimler Truck was recently asked about the debate over battery electric and hydrogen fuel cells in an interview with CNBC. Mortindam argued that the key to success was maintaining a sense of equilibrium. We go for both because both make sense, he said, explaining how different technologies would be appropriate in different scenarios. Mortindam's remarks on fuel cells allude to the possibility that they could one day find a place in heavier modes of transportation that travel long distances, whole cargo, in some cases ferry people from one location to another. Isn't the only one who believes this. The Corrado Island, for example, is described as the world's first passenger train powered by a hydrogen fuel cell, and it was developed by the European transport giant Halston. In the realm of aviation, plans were announced in October to operate commercial hydrogen electric flight between London and Rotterdam, with the project's backers hoping to fly by 2024. Last year, JCB, significant player in the construction industry, announced the development of an excavator that is powered by a hydrogen fuel cell. The company said the vehicle, which weighs 20 tons and has been tested for almost a year, only emission from the exhaust is water. While there is enthusiasm for the use of hydrogen fuel cells in a range of applications, the road to broad adoption may not be easy. Honda stopped making its Clarity plug-in hybrid and fuel cell cars earlier this year. However, the firm did claim that fuel cell electric cars would play a key role in their zero-emission strategy. A number of obstacles have been raised by the U.S. government elsewhere. The longevity and reliability of fuel cells, as well as the cost of vehicles, are all factors to consider. The current infrastructure for producing and getting hydrogen to consumers cannot yet support the widespread adoption of FCEVs. It added, the race to control the low and zero-emission transportation future of the 21st century is on, and when it comes to automobiles, battery electric vehicles are a formidable contender, with companies like Tesla leading the push. But the road to success is never easy. Keep an eye out for hydrogen fuel in the next few years. What do you think about this news? Do you agree that hydrogen is a good thing? Should the Tesla Model Y have been utilized to promote hydrogen in Germany? Would Elon Musk come to embrace hydrogen fuel? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you soon.